You know, someone asked me recently why this particular case has seized the world. It was just a perfect act of evil that was almost executed in broad daylight. The press was complicit. They almost got it done.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Is Blake Lively in full-blown panic mode? Why are rumors of her sudden pregnancy popping up now, right when she's caught in the middle of multiple lawsuits worth hundreds of millions of dollars? A coincidence or something much more calculated? Just a few weeks ago, Blake seemed to have it all: an enviable career, a picture-perfect family, and a squeaky-clean public image. But things took a sharp turn when the news broke about a jaw-dropping $400 million lawsuit, followed by yet another legal battle with a PR firm claiming massive damages at her hands. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Taylor Swift, her longtime bestie, is reportedly turning her back on Blake. Why? Rumor has it Taylor discovered Blake may have been using her name for leverage in ways that only Hollywood friendships can. Ouch. But here's where it gets really interesting. Amid all this chaos, whispers of Blake expecting her fifth child have suddenly surfaced. Now, we're not saying this is a publicity strategy, but we're also not saying it. After all, what's a better way to shift public perception and distract from a scandal than a heartwarming pregnancy story? Could this be a carefully orchestrated move to gain sympathy and soften her image? Or is it all just an innocent coincidence? Either way, there's no denying, Blake is a master at staying one step ahead of the headlines.
After I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, think of the ladies I can like, this is a horrible thing to say.
Blake Lively has always seemed untouchable, a Hollywood darling with a flawless image. But even the brightest stars aren't immune to a little turbulence. And right now, Blake's world is anything but smooth sailing. It all started with a $400 million lawsuit that caught everyone off guard. According to reports, Blake was involved in a high-profile business venture that didn't exactly go as planned. Investors are claiming massive losses. And who do they want to blame? None other than Blake herself. Now they're demanding she cough up a fortune in damages. If that wasn't bad enough, she's also facing another legal storm, this time from a well-known PR firm accusing her of causing irreparable damage to their reputation and business. The firm claims Blake's actions left them with millions in losses, and they want their slice of justice too. Suddenly, Blake's once glossy life is starting to crack under pressure. And while she's been noticeably quiet about these lawsuits, you can practically feel the tension brewing behind the scenes. Her fans are waiting for her side of the story, but will it ever come? Or is silence the best strategy when you're fighting battles on multiple fronts? But here's where things take an even stranger turn. Just as these lawsuits heat up, a different kind of headline emerges. Baby number 5? That's right. Rumors are swirling that Blake might be expecting again. And the timing? Well, let's just say it's very convenient.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I have 2 other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Yeah. Does she play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of pretends to play with her. So in the beginning, our oldest is loving on her, and she's very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from her.
And just when things couldn't get more complicated, Taylor Swift, the ultimate bestie, seems to be stepping back. For years, Blake and Taylor were practically inseparable, with Taylor even name-dropping Blake's kids in her songs. Their friendship seemed unbreakable, a rare bond in a world full of fleeting Hollywood alliances. But according to some sources, that friendship might have hit a serious snag. The reason? Blake allegedly used Taylor's name for leverage, leveraging the Swiftie empire to boost her own image and projects. Let's be honest, being best friends with one of the world's biggest superstars isn't exactly bad for your brand. Now, here's where things get awkward. Taylor is said to have caught on, and she wasn't too happy about being the unintentional PR tool in Blake's grand strategy. The result? Radio silence. No more public shoutouts, no more cozy Instagram posts. Could this be the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's favorite BFF duos? Or is it just a temporary cooling off period while Blake handles her legal mess? Either way, the distance between them is hard to ignore, and fans are already speculating about what really went down. And just as the Taylor drama unfolds, those baby rumors keep getting louder. Maybe it's Blake's way of shifting the narrative. After all, it's hard to focus on lawsuits when there's a heartwarming pregnancy story stealing the spotlight.
But I think right now what's happening behind the scenes is she is freaking out, and Taylor cannot then call in a marketing guru to spin things to make her look innocent.
Just as the heat from these lawsuits starts to build and her friendship with Taylor cools down, a new headline emerges. Blake Lively is pregnant with her 5th child. Now, we're not saying it's a PR move, but let's face it, the timing is suspiciously perfect. In Hollywood, timing is everything. And in the world of celebrity crisis management, it's practically an art form. When a scandal hits, the best way to redirect public attention is to introduce a narrative so positive, so heartwarming, that it overshadows any negativity. And what's more distracting and sympathy-inducing than a pregnancy announcement? Not just any pregnancy. This would be Blake's 5th child. That's practically sainthood status in Hollywood. Imagine the headlines: Blake Lively, Hollywood supermom, or balancing motherhood and fame, Blake's next chapter. Gone are the stories of lawsuits and crumbling friendships. Instead, the media shifts its focus to nursery decor, baby name speculation, and glowing profiles about Blake's motherhood journey. Suddenly, the public forgets the scandal and focuses on the joy of new life. Genius, right? But there's more to this strategy than just gaining sympathy. It also deflects criticism in the most effective way possible. Who would dare come for a pregnant mom of 5? Not even the most ruthless tabloids would want to be seen as attacking a family-focused star during what should be a beautiful time in her life. And let's be honest, Blake knows how to play the game. She's been a master at curating her public image for years. Carefully staged Instagram posts, perfectly timed red carpet appearances, and just the right amount of mystery to keep fans guessing. So if she's pulling this move now, it's no coincidence. It's a calculated masterstroke. Of course, there's always the possibility that these rumors are just that, rumors. Maybe Blake's not pregnant at all. Maybe the loose dresses and well-placed handbags were just a coincidence. But if there's even a shred of truth to it, you've got to give credit where it's due. This is PR at its finest. A new baby changes the narrative entirely, from lawsuits and betrayals to redemption and fresh beginnings. The world loves a comeback story, especially one wrapped in soft pastels and baby booties. So the question remains, is Blake really expecting baby number 5? Or is this the most perfectly timed distraction in recent memory?
This person is not an honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now.
If Blake Lively is really pregnant, the timing might just be pure coincidence. But if it's not, it's an undeniably clever way to manipulate public perception. In Hollywood, reputation is everything. And when cracks begin to show, the best defense isn't always an aggressive denial, it's a carefully crafted distraction. Think about it. Blake's public image has always been tied to family and motherhood. She's the glamorous yet relatable mom with a perfect blend of career success and family life. She's not the type you'd expect to find at the center of multi-million-dollar lawsuits. But scandals, they can change everything. Public opinion can flip overnight. One minute you're America's sweetheart, the next, you're the subject of countless think pieces questioning your integrity. Unless you give them something else to talk about. Something warmer, softer, something that humanizes you again. Like a baby. Suddenly, Blake isn't just a Hollywood star facing legal troubles. She's a mother-to-be, navigating life's challenges while preparing to welcome her 5th child. Who wouldn't admire her for that? And here's the beauty of this tactic. It works on multiple levels. Not only does it deflect attention from the lawsuits, but it also makes it harder for critics to go after her without looking cruel or unfair. Media outlets would have to tread lightly or risk being labeled heartless for attacking a pregnant woman. Even her accusers might be forced to tone down their rhetoric just to avoid the inevitable backlash. But the real brilliance? It's nearly impossible to prove it's intentional. After all, pregnancy is a deeply personal thing. No one would dare suggest it's part of a bigger strategy. Yet, at the same time, the narrative shift is unmistakable. The media knows it. The fans know it. And Blake? Well, If this is part of a plan, she's playing her cards flawlessly. Let's not forget that Blake isn't the first celebrity rumored to have pulled this move, bestie. Over the years, countless stars have been accused of using personal milestones, weddings, pregnancies, even health scares, as tools for image control. Is it calculated? Maybe. Is it effective? Absolutely. At the end of the day, whether it's real or just a well-timed coincidence, the result is the same. The public focus shifts. The scandal fades into the background. And Blake gets to reclaim her narrative on her own terms.
And weirdly, 1 hour later, I had our pitch with Kevin Feige and all the Marvel people, and Sean and I were gonna tell them that we're gonna punt for a year or two and come back to this later when we all have like a clearer head and stuff. So on that Zoom with those guys, we just pivoted and literally made up out of thin air the story of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is actually what we ended up. Sometimes when you're just so full of and you go with it, you end up actually kind of hitting the bullseye.
If Blake Lively is indeed pregnant with her 5th child, it raises an interesting question. What's next for her career? Will she step back and focus on family life, or is this just a short intermission in a carefully plotted comeback? Blake has taken breaks before, especially during her previous pregnancies. She's always returned to the spotlight with ease, often stronger than ever, but this time feels different. With legal battles looming and her usually flawless image under scrutiny, stepping away might seem like the safest move. A graceful exit, at least for now, could protect her from further public scrutiny while allowing the media storm to settle. But there's another possibility. What if this isn't an exit but a setup for a major rebranding? A fresh start? Think about it. After taking time off to focus on family, Blake could return with a new project that reinforces her wholesome, untouchable image. The perfect comeback story. A devoted mother balancing career and family while overcoming life's challenges. And let's not forget that Blake isn't just an actress. She's also a savvy businesswoman with multiple ventures under her belt. A step back from acting doesn't necessarily mean fading from the public eye. In fact, it could be an opportunity to double down on her other projects, producing, directing, or expanding her business empire. It's the kind of quiet power move that few in Hollywood pull off successfully, but Blake just might be one of them. Of course, if these pregnancy rumors are nothing more than speculation, it opens up a whole different set of possibilities. Blake could continue fighting her legal battles head-on, refusing to back down and proving once again that she's not someone to be underestimated. Either way, one thing is certain. Blake is a master of reinvention. Whether it's on the big screen or behind the scenes, she always finds a way to stay relevant, to stay in control. For now, though, all eyes are on what she'll do next. Will she lean into the family narrative and quietly retreat, or will she surprise everyone with a bold new move? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, whatever happens next, it'll be on her terms.
And Blake Lively's PR team wants us to know that everything that's happening right now is hurting Blake's feelings. Blake Lively sources say Justin Baldoni lawsuit is causing her and Ryan Reynolds severe anguish. In that article, we're told that Blake Lively is quote unquote emotionally zapped.
So, what's really going on with Blake Lively? Is she quietly preparing to expand her family, or is this a well-timed strategy to shift the narrative and reclaim her public image? With lawsuits piling up, friendships crumbling, and the rumor mill in overdrive, Blake finds herself at a critical crossroads. But if there's one thing we've learned about her, it's that she always stays one step ahead. Whether it's stepping back into the shadows for a while or orchestrating the ultimate comeback, Blake is a master of reinvention and control. What do you think? Is this the start of a new chapter for Blake, or just another move in the high-stakes game of Hollywood survival? Leave us a comment and let us know your take. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. All right, show's over. Hungry for more twists? You know where to find us. Keep that popcorn hot, we'll handle the drama. Want to catch the next showdown in real time? Hit subscribe and buckle up.